Hey, y'all, come on in. Welcome to our 4th of July episode.
We have an American Barbershop today from BBS Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about Happy Land Studios. Here is their Happy Land signature scent. Rich tobacco drizzled with honey, layered together with blueberries and a hint of apple pie. A nearly gourmand aroma that will capture the attention of anyone around you who is lucky enough to catch a whiff.
Y'all, we both wore this last night and it was incredible. They are so right when they say nearly a gourmand. How would apple pie be nearly a gourmand, you say? When it meets with the tobacco, when it dives down into the rich spices rather than the sweetness of the apple. Y'all, there is magic in this. What do you get?
You know, the part to me that I really enjoy is the saffron in here. It's not quite Baccarat Rouge vibes, but it kind of helps it not get too gourmandy. It just rides that line in a very fun way. Like it could be an evening scent, a morning scent, an afternoon scent. It's super versatile.
And I love how spicy and yet comforting this is. This could be a great flanker to their home for the holidays one, which we will review soon. Thank you, Happy Land, for creating these amazing scents and putting them together in sample packs so that we can sample 4 or 5 of them for $30. Awesome. And what is our soap today?
We have American Barbershop, and this is actually our first soap from BBS Soap Company.
Which is from far away. So I'm excited to see how they might view and scent an American barbershop for our 4th of July celebration. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at therazorcompany.com. A true classic reimagined. This complex, nostalgic fragrance brings the traditional barbershop experience to life with a sophisticated blend of powdery florals, herbs, and musk. Made in-house by hand using a mix of essential oils and fine fragrance components, it's our tribute to a timeless genre.
The scent combines talc, jasmine, white flowers, ylang-ylang cotton flower, gardenia, and basil over a smooth musk and sandalwood base. Perfectly balanced and wearable year-round.
Crafted in our elite Kronos base, this soap delivers rich, dense lather and exceptional post-shave comfort. Kronos is packed with nourishing ingredients like duck fat, buffalo milk, maru butter, emo oil, green tea extract, and more for an ultra-smooth shaving experience. Well, y'all, that is the roll call for the most awesome ingredients we have experienced in a shave soap. I am excited to try this one. Let's let it out of the box. All right, y'all, what actually inspired this purchase was 2 brand new soaps from the Razor Company that we know nothing about. Avenia, look at that, they're in the 2-ounce size. What is this here on the piano? The third host of the Barbershop Duet, our own Ed McMahon, is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So how are we not supposed to get Cavalier? Lainey will be narrating that episode. Oh, and y'all, I don't mean to alarm you, but I do see the blue pen of a note. Hey, Marcus and Sarah, hope you're enjoying this shaving goodies. Love, Crystal. Oh. Marcus and Sarah, thank you both so much for your business. We greatly appreciate it. From Jason. Thanks, you.
Wow.
And if you order from the Razor Company, you will occasionally get one of these. One of the best smelling barbershops in the hobby, but it's relegated to a little treat. Oh, y'all, Jason has included a sample of Mr. Taylor's Shaving Cream by Taylor of Old Bond Street. So we're going to have a little impromptu trivia contest right now for those in the live chat of this video's premiere on YouTube. So Whiff Packers, here is your question. Who was the very first person to sign the Declaration of Independence? Put it in the live chat and we will send this out to you. And y'all, this is what you've come to see. I think these containers are kind of a Grecian thing.
Must be.
I think Hogs uses them. Look at that. Y'all, what a beautiful label. And I'm encouraged because after having a dozen or so American barbershops, these notes are unique. And I want to know what these are going to come together to smell like. But we'll know when we have a first impression. All right, I want you to take this in and let me know if it's a barbershop that you know or if we are in brand new territory here. Let's see what we got.
I'm curious to see what they think an American barbershop smells like. Right. Here's the pour. It's a new artisan for us. We're going to do all the things. There you go, my friends. All smoothed out.
That's beautiful. Look at
Fancy. Okay. Is that sparkling? Man.
It's kind of the way Holy Cow smooths out the pour. Okay, take it in. See what you get. Rocket's red glare. Bombs bursting in air. What do you got?
It's funny. I got more of like a green herb thing.
Yeah?
More than I was expecting.
Oh.
It's a vibrant, potent scent in a good way. Like, it's got a good intensity. Sometimes barbershops are a little more tame with the powdery side.
Right.
I don't get the powdery side.
Oh.
I don't get our blue barbershop side. Like, we usually pick lanes. So this is its own barbershop. But I like the dapperness thing that's happening. It somehow does smell what I think an American barbershop may smell like.
Nice.
But everything in here is super fresh. Like, I don't get a vintage vibe necessarily. Like, sometimes there's an aftershave splash that I'll get kind of mixed in there. I'm not getting that. Like, whatever was used here is like super fresh. I know they said they use their own essential oils and things, and you can tell, like, when you take that whiff, there's a like a vibrancy turned up on the coloring somehow.
Nice.
So I think I get like an herb. It's not a vetiver. Some kind of a greeny thing leads me in.
Gotcha.
I really want to figure out what those other florals were that they were listing, because they're here. Yeah. It's not quite a frag side, but they are the more expensive florals, and they have a fun masculine hit to them. Like I think dapper is a good word. Like, I know sometimes they say sophisticated, but I like dapper for this barbershop.
Good news, Lee. It ain't sophisticated.
There's something woodsy in here. It may be a cedar or something. Like, I get the shop. I don't just get the barber. I get the room that we're in, where the things all happen. It's a place that you visit, and I feel like I just opened the door, and this is the whiff that I'm getting of the actual barbershop.
Nice.
So I think the florals in here are adding, like, whatever they put over you, it's like crisp white linen. It's that type of thing. Like everything has a little extra care put into this. Like, it's a fancier side, which is super fun.
Is there a little bit of a clean cottony sense going on?
Yes, but I think that's the other floral thing that we read, cotton flower or something, because it's a little turned up. It has like a straight from the steamers kind of vibe, like it, or maybe just ironed. Like, there's something in it that's like, oh, I am here for my shave.
Freshly pressed.
But I like how I'm really getting the place, not as much a masculine person.
Oh, right.
So to me, it's for sure a barbershop, but it's not so masculine that I wouldn't use it. Where sometimes the barbershops are like, I would love to smell that on you. Right. I don't know if I would grab it right away. This one has a portion to it that I think it's maybe the florals that are helping, that I would actually reach to use this too.
Right. Hairdressers smell like that acid they put on your hair to make it curly for permanence. That's why there's not hairdresser scents.
So sometimes the way that you explain clean, it has like a minty side to this.
Oh.
I'm not going to say there's an actual mint in here, but it's really refreshing to the point where my brain wants to assume that there's like a minty herb or something here.
Love that.
I think I'd actually get more of like a green and a white versus like a blue that I sometimes associate with a barbershop.
Right. Now, remember Terry Soap's mysterious barbershop? Is this a little close?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. That had like a gourmandy bread kind of vibe for me. This one is like crisp, clean, dapper. It's got a vintage history, like it's been around for a while, but it hasn't stayed in like a time capsule. It has been growing through the years. Like every generation could go to this barbershop.
So that barbershop's been open for a while.
But it's been very well taken care of.
Right.
I'm glad that this is the first thing that we've tried from BBS Soaps, because this is like our first intro scent. I'm curious to see what happens with the next few that we sent. If this is what they think an American barbershop is, they've got a good nose. I'm curious. You ready?
All right, pass it over. Oh, I can take this to a new barbershop day. I'm excited. Right. Oh, I see. Oh, the herbs, the mints, and the medicinals. Beautiful, and a very new way to create a barbershop. Very much above the surface, and yet there are base notes in this that go down into where tobacco and patchouli usually dwell. But they're not in here. This is a cleaner, sharper, crisper version with some definitive masculine spice under the surface. Doesn't have to be too sweet. Ooh, this is an impressive feat, y'all, because here's what they've done. Usually barbershops for me are incredibly whimsical and beautiful in that whimsy. I mean, come on, Sterling's Barbershop, the master buzzing garden. No actual place really smells that good, or that sweet, or that whimsical, or that crazy, or that fun. But y'all, this is exactly what a real barbershop would smell like. And within those boundaries of needing to be an actual building where if you put this under my nose with a blindfold, I would tell you that you took me into a barbershop. That being said, it is the real barbershop where when you open the door, you inhale deeply and go, wow, this real place smells amazing. And here's why this is incredible for me. It's so real. This would not, for me, smell like I was wearing anything. No. This would just smell like who I was. The sense that I had gathered up during the day by having a beautifully, freshly pressed suit and some cool stuff in my hair and maybe a little bit of bay rum on my face. It's just that, like all of it together coming into this. Beautiful.
Like, I feel like they sent a secret spot and went to all of our American barbershops and somehow came up with this.
The real ones.
Yes.
And I love that you picked up on that mint because I don't know if I would even have caught onto it. It is so subdued, maybe 5% in this blend, but it is a spearmint, I think. And what a phenomenal choice that is.
It just adds that crisp, clean side that I feel like you can't do any other way.
And for me, the roller coaster goes minty, creamy, and then herby as it really takes off, and that sage and basil and other things that for me are swirling around under the surface become a little bit more prominent in that balance. But again, keeping it very real and keeping the intensity right to where it would be if you walked into a real place, and the balance right where it would be if you walked into a new place. I know there would be a pull to take the most beautiful scents in this and turn them up, and I think that's what most barbershops do, but this doesn't. This balances it out with the floor and the walls and the ceiling. Whoa.
Do you get any of the florals in there? Remember there was like a cotton flower or something. I don't want, I'm trying not to look. But
again, this is why it's so freaking real. We live right next to Tilden Park. We know what these trees smell like when they're blossoming. This is literally the sense you would get if that barbershop were surrounded by ylang-ylang trees and you were just getting a beautiful sense of it on the afternoon breeze. Y'all, the balance is precarious and incredible. Amazing how they did this. And the coolest part is this doesn't even encroach on any barbershop that we have done so far. And it gives me the sense of a morning coolness, like great for the summer, I think.
There's a little crispness in the air, like it's just cool. It hasn't gotten hot yet or anything.
And yes, even the sense of like what would tweed smell like if it wasn't green and Irish, you know what I mean? I can almost smell the leather patches on the jacket. Absolutely gorgeous.
I really want to go to this barbershop, I gotta say.
It doesn't need to go that far. Like it doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't need to layer us in powders and all those other things. Ooh, well, I don't know about you, but you want to see how this thing lathers? Yeah. Look at the set notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at therazorcompany.com.
Top notes of cotton flower and basil.
And y'all, look at my face. Those are absolutely present. I know top notes sometimes just give you a high five and then rush out the door, but these are beautifully present in this balance, and I can sense them both. The cotton flower is unique.
It is.
I love how it almost hints at fresh linen out of the dryer.
It totally does.
Heart notes of talc, and this is interesting. Talc has a chalky, natural sense. It's not the Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and I love how that is offsetting the sweetness of the flowers you're about to see. I didn't even sense them in these forms. What do we got here?
We have gardenia, jasmine, white flowers, and ylang-ylang.
Okay, so y'all, this is an accord. Sometimes when you were looking at scent notes, those notes are meant to stand out, like the cotton flower, like the basil. But I think what's happening here is you've got a white floral accord that's being made of a little gardenia, a little jasmine, a little white floral, a little ylang-ylang. And the secret about an accord is when it's balanced just right, you don't get any of those notes. You get something brand new, and I think that's where we're getting that creamy, masculine barbershop center from. That's almost powder. What do you think?
It's almost like you could create an EDP from it. Like whatever those florals are doing, they're just adding this rich layer to it.
And then finally, our base notes, again, inspired, gentle, kind. We're looking at
musk and sandalwood. And I think that's how I know I'm in a place. There's something with the sandalwood and this and that crisp, clean vibe that it's not just the barber. I'm in the actual barbershop.
Right. And for me, really good perfumers will often add a bit of dissonance into their notes. And what I mean by dissonance, this is a chord that sounds beautiful together. But this note, that one, gives that little bit of that dissonance in there. Like when you hear these two notes together, There's like a dissonance in there. But those are also the top of this chord. Sorry, lady. And when you do that, they're beautiful because you can hear what they're doing. So for me, the musk and the sandalwood don't click together perfectly. They create a little bit of dissonance in the bass. But I love that because that's part of what's giving this its movement and its personality, so that my nose, when it gets down there, can land on the musk if I want to feel like I'm wearing a suit, and can land on the sandalwood if I want to feel like I'm smelling my cologne.
I'm so curious to lather this up because I think adding water is going to blow these layers into a whole new layer.
And since we got this from the Razor Company, we thought we could grab our Razor Company custom printed bowl. I love the color, but look at that branding on the bottom. Look how good 3D printers have gotten. And with our bougie sticks from Amazon.com, Sarah's going to carve out a little bit of that soap. Now, they smooth their soap with a tool. This has not been tub loaded before.
Oh, it's got a little give, though. It's softer, but it does have a little feedback going on.
Right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press that soap into the bottom of this bowl and sort of approximate a tub load. So we want to make a big, smooth layer with a little heat and a little friction. So it kind of ends up looking like that. You wet it down with a little bougie sprayer. That's going to kind of create a little blooming experience down there with that water, because we're not going to talk about that water, because we're going to go up here with our dry brush, and start pulling up the soap onto the bristles. Now, they're not going to be dry for long because we already sprayed the bottom of the bowl with a bunch of water. But as you can see, the soap loads itself pretty dutifully onto those bristles, but then at certain points, it stops. And that's where you want to turn the brush and give those bristles a brand new orientation to come at that soap. And as you'll notice, the rest of that soap now starts disappearing from the top of the bowl. Now, I don't have a lot of lather yet because I'm not trying to make a lot of lather yet. I'm trying just to load the soap onto the bristles of this brush. Now, you want to take the brush down to the water, sop it up like a sponge, and then this brush is ready to go anywhere you want to build a world-class lather, face, legs, wherever. But we're going to do it here in the bowl. So we're just going to start going one way, clockwise, start going counterclockwise. The big bubbles are going to start to form, but don't let them get out of hand. Don't make too big a motion yet. Little swirlies, and turning the brush as you go. And then, without it overflowing, because you're making small movements, that starts to turn into lather. And the bubbles get smaller and smaller and smaller until they're so small that you're basically stirring yogurt here in this bowl. This brush only really splays if you romance it a little, but it's a great brush. Oh, holy crap.
Yeah?
Fresh, clean, herby, and minty. Yo! Look, Aventus and Green Irish Tweed are absolutely timeless scents. But the rest of the Creed catalog kind of has lots of similarities for me and a lot of how those notes come together. This is almost if you went into those Creed bases that you know so well and completely redid them, completely turned them inside out, upside down, turned up the herbs, turned up the clean, turned up the mint, turned down the rugged, turned down the dirtier spices. And this, I think, is what you'd have. This is crazy. Oh, and y'all, after just a couple of minutes or one playthrough of your favorite song, this has turned into an absolutely exceptional lather. Look at the consistency of it. And y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is take a little off the sides for me with on 3, 1, 2. Wow. Wow. This is truly exceptional. This is different. I love how relaxed this is. I love how clean and cool this is.
I get a little more of the talc and the musk side now that we lathered it up. Like a little bit more of that kind of powdery, kind of creamy side.
Right. Y'all, you know how cucumber melon is that iconic accord for like a lady's spa day? Mm-hmm. This is that exact inverse and opposite scent for the guys. Hey. Not cucumber melon, but exactly that same vibe, but for us. And y'all, we love watching the Long Island Shaver on YouTube when he makes his shaving videos, but we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. So we realize some of you might like to see how this lather coats and covers a gloriously beautiful moneymaker, which is hers. It goes like this.
First BBS.
Oh my God. Y'all, look at this. You can see the track of each individual bristle in the lather, and it goes on in coats. Whoo!
Oh, you want to play too?
Oh,
you want
onto
some?
a dry moneymaker. Look at this.
Ooh, a nice
This is
slickness
beautiful.
and
I
padded
know.
feel to this lather. My goodness.
This feels different.
There's like a mid-layer to this lather somehow.
Feels like it's putting like a slurry seal on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, this new friend is so intriguing. I feel like I still haven't gotten my nose completely around it yet. Why don't we take this down a little bit deeper?
It's interesting because this doesn't actually list a mint. They do list basil, but I didn't read mint. But those herbs have another layer happening.
I think there's a tiny bit of spearmint under the basil. And sometimes when perfumers grab a basil note, the perfuming supply house will add a couple of little things in there to fill it out, and they'll call it an accord. So there might even be a little spearmint in this. Who knows?
Unless the Greece version of basil has a little different kind of thing going on too.
Grease lightning, burning up quarter mile. They had a Grease sing-along at the Hollywood Bowl last night, and John Travolta surprised everybody and came up on stage as Danny Zuko. And sang a little something. I know. The first three notes of You're the One That I Want for Danny are insanely hard to sing for an American singer because they need a high A. That's higher than the note the Phantom of the Opera has to sing. So it's up here. And back in the old days when I would use my throat, I got you! It was not pretty. With your Italian tenor training, I got chills, they're multiplying. But go on YouTube and type in high school production of Grease and watch the Dannies try to hit that note. It's hilarious. Much like wet shaving, it's not hard. You just have to know how. Now, it's funny because I don't classify this like as traditionally masculine, but it's very masculine in its way. Would you wear this?
You know, I won't say that I wouldn't, because I think what's coming off is the minty and the white floral magic that's in there.
Right.
There's something on me that would come off a little less talky, and like more the barbershop itself side.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a little bit more feminine.
I do feel like since this is a new artisan, we may want to get this in a splash and see how those herbs and everything settle up there.
And hey, we definitely appreciate the American distributors like the Razor Company that makes soaps like this available to us and affordable. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Marcus and Sarah in the wet shaving hobby and excited to cover a barbershop for the 4th of July. You're well aware that there are Filipino-inspired barbershops with Dos de Gales. You know that there are London-inspired barbershops. In fact, a bunch of them. Maggots has a great one. But since the fireworks seem to be starting outside, and this does happen to be the weekend of our American independence celebration, we thought an American barbershop would be more than apropos, and we got our own! So head over to therazorcompany.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want. Well, y'all, I've had my shave with American Barbershop. In fact, I took that lather from the show, marched it into the bathroom, and had my shave. So I have not gotten to know the scent all that much better. But I shot this now because, y'all, I want to talk about this base. There is something about how it creates a slurry seal on your face that my Henson razor seemed absolutely fearless to do all of the passes like right here that normally would draw a few weepers, but there was just something about how this was sticking to my face in such a beautiful, soft way that I knew I could do whatever I wanted with that razor. And the only tiny weeper I got was up here. Nothing down here, even with the alcohol hit afterwards. It felt fabulous. Zero irritation. Hey, BBS, we will be back.
Welcome to Messages.
Hey, y'all. So it's that magic time to choose our winner for a $25 e-gift card to Past Your Pharmacy. Here are the names of everyone who sent us in an email to enter this giveaway and your corresponding lucky numbers.
Garrett, Larry, Andrew, Brian, Bruce, Manny, Stanley, Eric, Richard, Selena, and Gorguts.
And here's that magic time. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 11.
Here's a number between 1 and 11. It's 2.
2! Larry!
Larry, congratulations, my friend. Thank you for entering this giveaway, and thank you all for sending in these emails and supporting our little show. Please make sure you send in your emails for our next giveaway in July, and best of luck. We will see you on our next episode. Going back to kind of what I said at the beginning, I can't get over how absolutely real and yet how absolutely beautiful this smells. There's nothing outside the box whimsical about this. This is a very real place that you might know in your imagination, and I'm going to enjoy going back to from time to time.
I feel like out of all of our barbershops, we should tally and see how many there are. Right. But I do feel like this kind of could be the barbershop masterpiece type of scent.
You know, I was just wondering if we should maybe nominate this. I know it's a barbershop and it's a crowded lane, but y'all, there is something truly special about this, and I think I agree with my beloved that this does have a place in the 2025 Barbershop Duet Masterpiece Collection for being so outside the box and yet being so real at the same time. My first voice coach used to say, within conformity, there is great freedom, and this is the perfect example of that. Well done, y'all.
I am curious what we should do next. If this was our first from BBS, like what would the next one be? Because we went barbershop lane. Like, where do we even go next,
If
y'all?
anybody knows, put down in the comments, because we are more than happy to grab another one of these. This is exceptional.
We hope you have a wonderful and safe 4th of July, and don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell more American just watching this.